Ladies and gentlemen, today on Run It Back Philly, will Paul George make his debut in the preseason tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves? Some Joel Embiid news on his knee that some of us might be concerned about. I want your opinion on that because we've been going back and forth on whether or not this is concerning or not. Now, some new things came out we got to talk about. We're also going to decide if Keith Pompey is clickbaiting us. And the preseason game tonight is not televised, but I'm going to tell you how to watch it. Stay tuned.
Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros.
Perfect. Give me my hat.
Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros.
Run it back, nation. What is good? Thank you for being here. Give me 1,000 likes on this video. All right. We haven't hit 1,000 likes on a video in a couple videos now, and it's affecting my mental health. Okay. So to protect my mental health, please be the one of the people that hits the like button, gets us up over 1,000. We're approaching 25,000 subscribers. Subscribe to the channel, get us up over 25,000. That would be greatly appreciated. And get all of the merch on runitbackphillyshop.com. And this is brought to you by BetUS. And tonight, Game 5, Padres and Dodgers. We're rooting against the Mets, of course, because they took out our Phillies. We're also rooting against the Dodgers because nobody likes the Dodgers. So we are putting money on the San Diego Padres tonight at a plus 126. Drop a 20 on there, pay out 25, place my bets. You can bet on the game also over on BetUS and get 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your next two deposits up to $2,000 using promo code YouTube150. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring the channel. Let's get down to business. Okay. Here's what we got to talk about. Where is it? Here it is. Breaking. Paul George will make his Sixers preseason debut against the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. So, yes, I thought, I'm always a little bit shocked at how many veteran starters play in the preseason, because I always just think of it like the NFL preseason kind of, where like, I don't play anybody. It doesn't really matter that much. You don't want anyone to get hurt, whatever. So I didn't really expect to see Paul George probably in a lot of these preseason games, but here you go. Preseason game number 1, Paul George is ready to get on the floor. So we're going to see Paul George tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves in preseason action, maybe a quarter and a half. I'm not sure. We saw a couple of players a little bit more than I thought we were going to see them against the New Zealand Breakers. So it'll be interesting. But Paul George is making his debut tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves in preseason action. Here is what Paul George says about tonight's preseason debut.
Tomorrow is going to be, I guess, your first preseason game. How do you, like, you've been in the league for a while, like, how do you approach that? Like going into starting it off?
I think just having a mindset to, first and foremost, get better, get some chemistry, but I think more so just get conditioning, like try to really blow out my lungs, try to really run the floor, all the intangible stuff. I think the talent it'll make its imprint as the season goes on and as we get out of preseason. More so I'll be in my game, but it's keeping up with this dude, running the floors, giving him space, and I think, like I said, it's more so the intangibles in these preseason games. Everything else will start to transition as we get into the season.
Heard. So, Paul George is going to go out there, go through the motions, get his heart rate up, run up and down the floor. You're not going to see him do anything too crazy. He's not going to be down there fighting for rebounds or trying to dunk on somebody or anything like that. But we are going to see Paul George play in the preseason tonight, and I think you can expect a lot of at least some perimeter type of stuff, some ISO stuff, some step back threes, some things like that. So excited to see that. Now, here's what we got to talk about as far as is Keith Pompey clickbaiting us, okay? This was posted by Philly Sixers Galaxy. Coach Nick Nurse was asked after Thursday's practice at Grandview University if Joel Embiid will meet with the team on the road trip. Nick Nurse said he's not here. He's at a scheduled assessment of his knee. That was always on the schedule. We are still waiting for what's next. Keith Pompey puts out an article, and I'm not slandering Keith. It's his job. It pays the bills. The website is behind a paywall. But he types, Joel Embiid to undergo evaluation. Now, that's a little bit cryptic. That's a little bit more cryptic than the actual quote from Nick Nurse, where he says he's not here. He's at a scheduled assessment of his knee. I don't like it. First of all, the Joel Embiid thing. I don't like it. You played in the Olympics. Nobody said anything about the knee. You played in the playoffs right after knee surgery. You played in the Olympics. Nobody said anything about the knee. And now the season's about to start, and we're constantly hearing things about the knee. And he's at a scheduled assessment, and we are still waiting for what's next. That tells me that the coaching staff does not know when Joel Embiid's going to be ready to play. So we're entering a season with Joel Embiid knee drama. And I'm going to ask you, what you think of a take that I have. After we find out if Keith Pompey is clickbaiting us, let's vote in the chat right now before we read the article. Go right in the comments right now and answer yes or no, and why. Do you think Keith Pompey is clickbaiting us? Because it is behind a paywall, and I paid for the article just to find the truth. Just to find the truth. Okay, here it is. Here's Keith's article, and some of you might say, DJ Eastwood, how in the world did you muster up the $2.99 to pay for this article? And I just want you to know that it's a tax write-off, and it's a business expense. Here you go. Here's what Keith Pompey says. Paul George is set to make his debut against the Minnesota Timberwolves preseason. Okay. Coach Nick Nurse was asked after Thursday's practice at Grandview University if Embiid will meet with the team on the road trip. He's not here. Nurse said he's at a scheduled assessment of his knee. That was always on the schedule. We are still waiting for what's next. There's the clip of Nick Nurse talking about it. 7'2" center, played in just 39 games last year. He's slowly building back up his knee. That was an older report. Embiid and George missed Monday's exhibition game. George goals for Friday preseason. Okay, so there's no information in here. You got us, Keith. Keith, you got us. There's absolutely no information in here about Joel Embiid undergoing an evaluation. Tricky wording, but Joel Embiid had a scheduled assessment for his knee that was always on the schedule. The way Keith made it sound is as if they just discovered something, and now Joel Embiid's going to go have an MRI, and oh my God, it seems like there's another injury. That's what the wording is. Let's be honest here. But really, it was always scheduled. So there wasn't any real information in that article. The answer to is Keith clickbaiting us is a resounding yes. But I want to ask you guys something, because we go into this season with the Joel Embiid knee stuff, okay? And Joel had the surgery last season, came back, played in the playoffs. But when he had the surgery, they never really told us what happened. We were going through all of these doctor opinions on YouTube and reading all kinds of stuff on the internet about meniscus surgery and trying to decide what they probably did, but they never really told us what they did. That meniscus was already a repaired meniscus. For it to happen as quickly as it did, it is rumored that Joel Embiid may have had his meniscus entirely removed. And entirely removed means that his knee will be bone on bone for the rest of his life. And so, are any of you guys nervous that Joel Embiid is playing a game with no meniscus? And that, this ramping the knee back up, and somebody was in the YouTube comments talking about he just needs to get his knee right. He just needs to get his knee right. Bro, he's 30 years old with no meniscus. There is no getting the knee right. I'm not trying to be ultra super negative or morbid here, but I think it's possible that we're seeing the last 3-4 years of Joel Embiid's career starting now And the knee is not going to get any better. He's not going to get any healthier. He's not going to look any better than he looked in the Olympics. This is the Joel Embiid that we're getting for the rest of his tenure with the Philadelphia 76ers. That might be negative. That might be true. That might be... Give me your opinion on that take. It just, it makes me sad, man. It makes me sad when I think about it that way, because I go back and I watch his rookie debut and his early years and the way that he was just running and jumping and flying up and down the floor and postering people. And we take it for granted, man. We take athletes for granted, especially a guy like this that's 7'2", 275, running and jumping the way that he did. I didn't know it was going to come this soon. I didn't know it was going to happen this fast. You blink and you're in year 9 of Joel Embiid's career. And, I just wish in the moment of things like that, you could cherish it a little bit more. So as you get older, I don't want to get all philosophical or deep on you, but as you get older and you see things pass quickly, I watched Allen Iverson's entire career start to finish. I'm now older than a lot of players that I'm watching play. It happens quick. And so to you young guys out there, not just in sports, but anything in life that you enjoy, just try your best to live in the moment and cherish it, because it's going to happen really fast. What the just happened to this YouTube video? Okay. The Sixers preseason game is not on TV. Paul George will make his preseason debut, but if you'd like to see Paul George take the Florida Sixers jersey, it could be tricky. NBC Sports Philadelphia does not broadcast road preseason games. The Timberwolves broadcast partner Bally Sports didn't send a broadcast crew to Iowa either. Also, Bally Sports, I heard last year was like bankrupt and like, going extinct or whatever. The only possible way to watch the game is reportedly through League Pass, which will provide the in-arena feed. Less than ideal. It's disappointing someone couldn't find a solution to have Paul George's debut broadcasting. You would think that they would have communicated, hey, NBC's not broadcasting this. Bally's not broadcasting it. Why is it not on NBA TV? Why did the NBA themselves? You're running a business and Paul George is making his debut for his new team. You're running a business, and something that a lot of people want to see is not being televised. That is insane. What are you guys playing on NBA TV instead of this game? I want to know. Anyway, the best way for you to watch it and follow along is on my YouTube channel today. 7 o'clock game start. We will be there downstairs on the couch in front of the 85-inch 4K. We'll be headsetted up, and we'll be calling the game for you. So tune in to Run It Back Philly for Paul George's debut. But it's an in-arena feed, which isn't really like TV cameras and angles. I don't know what to expect, but we're going to watch it. Okay? So join me. That is all I got, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will talk to you all very soon. I love you. See ya.